I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's News Update. The Anti-Defamation League has strongly condemned recent attacks in Israel against Palestinians believed to be perpetrated by Israeli Jews. On August the 16th, a Molotov cocktail was thrown at a taxi carrying 6 Palestinians outside the West Bank settlement of Beit Ain. The passengers suffered severe burns. Israel police suspect extremist Israeli Jewish youths were behind the attack. On August the 17th, a group of Jewish teenagers attacked 3 Palestinians in Jerusalem's Zion Square in what is being called a lynch. 1 Palestinian was seriously injured. Several suspects have already been arrested. ADL National Director Abe Foxman said Israeli leadership, political, religious, cultural, must come together to make clear that these manifestations of hate are unacceptable and will not be tolerated, and that countrywide social and educational initiatives must be considered. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and the Israel police have said they are determined to bring those responsible for the attacks to justice. Canada's largest Protestant church has approved a boycott of products made in the Israeli settlements. As we reported to you Friday, the church was set to pass the resolution following an earlier vote on Wednesday. And the United Church of Canada, after 7 hours of vigorous debate, ultimately passed the resolution late Friday that calls on church members to avoid any and all products produced in the settlements. It further requests that the Canadian government ensures that such products be labeled clearly and differently from products made in Israel, and that such products not be given preferential treatment under the Canada-Israel Free Trade Agreement. General Church Council Officer Bruce Gregerson stated that the resolution is a call for economic action, but is not affiliated with the boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement.
So in the report itself, what the working group recommended is that we do not support the overall boycott, divestments, and sanctions movement because there are significant challenges in that movement, and it's outlined in the report. So it was intentional of the working group to say economic action. Is it a boycott? Well, that's, I think somebody would need to reflect on that, but we don't want to confuse our action with the overall boycott, divestments, and sanctions movements. But it is clearly economic action. It is clearly inviting people to not buy settlement products because they represent illegal goods produced in illegal communities, in illegal settlements in the West Bank.
In a statement released by the head of Toronto's Friends of Simon Wiesenthal Center for Holocaust Studies, Avi Ben-Lolo said of the church's vote, he fears a relationship of trust and friendship is irreparably broken. 4 women were detained Sunday morning at Jerusalem's Western Wall for wearing a talit or prayer shawl. According to a 2001 law, it is illegal for women to perform religious practices traditionally done by men in Orthodox Jewish practice at the Western Wall, such as reading from a Torah scroll or wearing tefillin or a talit. The Israel Religious Action Center, or IRAC, and the Israel Movement for Progressive Judaism, or IMPJ, are determined to change the status quo and say the key to making that happen is in the hands of the authoritative that run the Western Wall, the Western Wall Heritage Foundation. IRAC and IMPJ have posted a petition asking the council to include a diverse membership and say they will go to Israel's Supreme Court to demand the change in the makeup of the council, which is currently comprised solely of Orthodox Jews. Executive Director of IRAC, Anat Hoffman, said, "We want this body to resemble the real diversity of the Jewish people in Israel and the diaspora." Pope Benedict XVI has named Archbishop Giuseppe Lazzarato as the new papal envoy to Israel, replacing outgoing Ambassador Antonio Franco. Lazzarato, a veteran Vatican diplomat, is said to be familiar with the region as he first served as a papal envoy in Jordan and Iraq from 1994 to 2000. Lazzarato, who is 70 years old, told Vatican Radio Saturday that he recognized his new assignment as a major challenge. He said that he would work to strengthen ties with all parties in the Middle East because it is only through dialogue that a just solution can be found to meet the various aspirations of the different peoples of the region. Jewish Agency Chairman Natan Sharansky told Israel Radio on Sunday that dozens of potential immigrants who had finalized their plans to move to Israel have delayed their arrival by several months because they are afraid of an Israeli strike on Iran's nuclear facilities and an Iranian response, saying public talk of war by Israeli politicians has, quote, crossed every red line. According to the Jewish Agency's data, there has been a 2% increase in Aliyah from all parts of the world during the first half of the year, including from Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and Latin America. The Jewish Agency helps nearly 20,000 immigrants make Israel their home each year, and just last week, 350 new immigrants from North America arrived in the Jewish state, 130 of whom plan to join the Israel Defense Forces. And that's Shalom TV's News Update. I'm Teisha Bader.